Hey guys, so today is our last day in our notes packet. It is the culmination of everything that we've been working on during e-learning. So I'm honestly pretty excited about it to put everything together that you guys have been working on for weeks. We're on page 40 and we're looking at quadratic application problems. So we're bringing in what we learned about following objects from yesterday and we're combining that with all the different things with quadratics, looking at solving by factoring, the square root method, the quadratic formula, and bringing that all together with these applications. Before we even get started into these actual examples, we want to remind ourselves to think, okay, do these problems make sense? We're working with real life examples and we want to think, okay, if I have a negative time, does a negative time really make sense? Or if I suddenly have a starting height that is less than my max height, what is that telling me? So we want to be asking ourselves these questions in these application problems. So as we bring all this together, let's take a look at our example here. So dropping an object, we talked yesterday that it's negative 16t squared plus s, where s is our starting height. Well, this time we have to think about throwing an object that we have some velocity, we have some force impacting that object. So if we're throwing an object, h of t equals negative 16t squared plus vt plus s. So a lot of it is staying the same. T is still our time, and s is still our initial height here, and v stands for velocity. So velocity can be positive or negative. So we could have two different velocity again, positive or negative here. So let's take a look at our first equation. So Bert throws a coin upwards off of a bridge into the stream below. The distance in feet of the coin above the water is modeled by the equation h equals negative 16t squared plus 56t plus 112, where t represents the time in seconds and h is the height in feet. So generally h is always going to be talking about our height, our y-axis there, and t is going to be our time, which is our x-axis. So if we're going to draw a sketch here, this is our height, and down here this is our time, and my M looks a little funny there. Okay, so now I'm going to make a sketch, and let's break down what we know about this graph. Well, we have a negative here, so that means that we're going to have a hill. And we have a starting height of 112. So I know I'm going to start, let's say right here at, we have 0, 112. That's my starting height right here. And it's going to go up and down. And so if I throw the coin up, so say this is our little bridge here, and we throw the coin up and it's eventually going to go down and it's going to hit the water here. So there's our bit of a sketch, and it says what is the maximum height Bert's coin will reach. So like I said, bring it all together. We're going back to max height here. So remember, max height is x equals the opposite of b over 2 times a. Well, my b here is 56, so it would be the opposite of b, which is 56, divided by 2 times negative 16. So opposite of b over 2a. And when I multiply the denominator and then divide, I get 1.75. And it's okay for us to work with decimals today because we are looking at real examples. So it's going to take 1.75 seconds for the coin to reach its max height, which is up here. So we know at this point here, this is 1.75. That's how many seconds it's going to take. And now that we know what the x value is, we got to plug it into our equation to figure out what the actual height is. So we can say that our height is negative 16 times 1.75 squared plus 56 times 1.75 plus 112. Okay, so we square 1.75 and multiply it by negative 16. I would encourage you to pause and try putting this into your calculator on your own. And this is going to give us 161 feet. So what that means is it takes 1.75 seconds to hit the max height, the max of 161 feet here. So if we were to add this into our graph, we would say 1.75, comma 161. So there's our max height of that coin. So now it says, how long will it take for Bert's coin to hit the water? Remember, the water is considered ground level. So if we hit the water, we've hit the ground. And when we're looking for what value of t is at the ground, we want to plug in 0 for h. So anytime we hit the ground or the water, that means that h equals 0. So I would say 0 equals negative 16t squared plus 56t plus 112. So now what do we do from here? These are the three things that we're going to ask ourselves. Can we factor? Which is a possibility. This looks kind of crazy. These numbers are a little large, so I personally want to try to factor. The next thing I'm going to ask myself is, can I use the square root method? Well, I can't use the square root method because I have a middle term, which some of you did a great job explaining that on your assessment. So no, we cannot use the square root method. And then the last thing we want to ask ourselves is, can we use the quadratic formula? And so those are the three options we have. In this case, our best bet is to use the quadratic formula. So, see, everything's coming together here. So, I need to do the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So, let's put that together. So, I have negative 56 plus or minus the square root of 56 squared minus 4 times negative 16 times 112 all over 2 times negative 16. Okay, so we really just need to get an approximate answer here because we're looking for an answer to the nearest hundredth. So we don't need to simplify our radical here. So if I go ahead and multiply this on the inside, I get negative 56 plus or minus the square root of 10,304 divided by negative 32. So remember, I have two answers because I need to do negative 56 plus the square root of 10,304 divided by negative 32. And then I just do negative 56 minus the square root of 10,304 divided by negative 32. So when I do that, I get two answers. I get x equals negative 1.42 and I get x equals 4.92. Remember, we need to ask ourselves, what answer makes sense? Well, we're not going to have a negative time here. So our answer here is going to be our positive option only. It's going to take 4.92 seconds for that coin to go up and hit the ground. I know it's mirrored, so my little visual there did not go on cue. Okay? So next it says, how long will it take for Bert's coin to reach a height of 134 feet? So we want to know, when does h equal 134? So we are going to substitute 134 in for h, and then we're going to solve for t. So I will say 134 equals negative 16t squared plus 56t plus 112. Well, before I ask myself the questions over here, factor, square root, and quadratic formula, I need to make sure I put this into standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c. So I'm going to move over 134 to the other side. I'm going to subtract 134 on both sides, so that's in standard form. So I get 0 equals negative 16 t squared plus 56t minus 22. So now I can think, okay, should I factor, quadratics? I'm going to use the quadratic formula here because I remember quadratic formula is going to always work. So I will do negative 56 plus or minus the square root of 56 squared minus 4 times negative 16 minus 22 all over 2 times negative 16. So when I multiply this all through again, I would encourage you to try this on your own. I get x equals 0.451 and 3.045. It doesn't tell us what to round to here. I rounded to the thousandth. So again, we want to think, does this make sense? Is it possible for me to hit 134 feet 2 times? well, let's go back to our sketch here. We start at 112 feet. We go up to 161 feet, and then we go back down again. So think we actually hit 112 feet 2 times, right? We hit it once when it's thrown and once when it's coming back down. Well, if we're asking for 134 feet, which is probably about here, we're going to hit that 2 times, right? We're going to hit it once on the way up and then another time on the way down. So it is true that we would have 2 answers here. So it would take 0.45 seconds and 3.5 seconds, 3.05 seconds for us to actually hit that height of 134 feet. Interesting, right? Okay, so we'll say seconds there. The next one says Ernie drops a coin off of the same bridge. So now we're going back to our dropped examples, right? So for our dropped examples, all we're doing is negative 16t squared plus our height. So I would just say that h of t equals negative 16t squared. Our initial height is 112 feet because that's how tall the bridge is. So if you were to just drop the coin instead of throwing the coin, this is the equation we're looking at. And so it says, how long will it take for the coin to hit the water? And remember, when the coin hits the water, we say that h equals 0. So we would say 0 equals negative 16t squared plus 112. So now we want to think, what's our best option? We could factor, we could take the square root method, or the quadratic formula. Since we do not have a b term here, let's go ahead and use the square root method. I'm personally a fan of the square root method. So to do that, I'm going to subtract 112 from both sides, because remember, I want to solve for x squared with the square root method. And so I get negative 112 equals negative 16t squared. I divide both sides by negative 16. And that's going to give me 7 equals t squared. To solve for t, I take the square root of both sides. And remember, I'm going to get plus or minus. But if I get plus or minus here, does negative make sense with time? No, it doesn't. We can't go backwards in time. So we would say that t equals the square root of 7 is 2.65 seconds. So it would take 2.65 seconds for it to hit the ground if it was just dropped. So I think that's a lot different than before we said it's going to take 4.92 if you were to throw it with that velocity. But if it was just dropped, it would be a lot shorter. Okay, so for your next phase, this is part 1 of the videos. We have 2 parts today. So for your homework for tonight, it's going to be number 6 here. Okay, so you're going to take a look at number 6. You guys did an example similar to this in your assessment. Talking about throwing something over a building or with that superhero going to the building. This one's just a little different. So you're going to work on number 6 as homework, but go ahead and play the next video and we're going to do page 41 together. Okay?